Josh,
Corey.
what's your deal with... Do you... what? Fuck. Hello, listener.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast.
So good to have you here.
Slide your crocs off.
Pull on a pair of tracksuit pants.
And time to get your rocks off.
Okay.
What do we do, Corey? What is this?
Josh, I'm glad you asked that question. What we do here at the Brown Carpet Podcast
Yes.
is we take two weird news stories
Yes.
and we turn them into even weirder movie pitches.
That's a sensational idea.
It's a great idea. It's
Is that it? That's where it ends?
No.
Good.
Basically, what we do then
Yep.
is we put it out to the listener. That's right. You listening now with your crocs off and your tracky dacks, you get to vote on which pitch you think sucks the least.
What happens to the winner?
The winner, we make a movie poster for it.
That is unbelievable.
So you get to choose which movie gets brown lit.
That is a vibrant idea bristling with possibilities.
Jump on board.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
As far as we know, racism is not a side effect of our product.
That's so good.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted antlers like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice.
Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up.
No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Joshua,
Corey.
2-3. Episode 2-3.
Number 23.
23. Jordan.
LeBron.
Greatness is about to hit the hoops.
Numerology will tell you that 23 is the most powerful number in the universe.
Is it really?
Apparently.
Numerologically?
Yeah.
Speaking of numerology,
There can only be one winner.
when we shot for the stars,
We did, and we took down the Deaf to All But Metal Boys last week.
we did. Mr. Gary Grimm and
Jezebel.
Wishboner, he goes by on social media.
We took them down in a tightly contested vote this week.
Very tightly contested.
I guess it only sets up the inevitable round 3, like every rigged state of origin.
Are we throwing down now?
Oh yeah, no, it's coming. And
gauntlet?
they know it's coming.
They do. It's like that beating they know they're going to get from their father,
Yeah.
their distant father.
I will see you after school at 4:30, young man.
Yeah, you wait till you get home.
Yeah, you bring a switch. I'm going to lay waste to your butthole. Don't clip that bit out and make a techno song.
Speaking of buttholes,
Speaking of buttholes,
Joshua.
I made a bit of an error last week.
what have you done?
Our award-winning story, Gorilla Man First Grunt, the news story which it spawned from,
Yes.
that was given to us by a listener and we did not give her a shout-out last week.
Can you do that now, please?
I feel terrible.
Come on.
I just want to say that I feel terrible about the
Yeah.
whole situation. Megan Stacey, thank you so much for the story that took us over the top against the Deaf to All But Metal
It's
Boys.
disgusting. Look, I hope she accepts it.
She may not.
Yeah.
I don't think she's listening anymore. But if someone could pass this on to her.
So if you want to suggest news stories, then we won't give you credit for. No, that was a lapse in judgment and a bad one at that.
It'll never happen again.
Um,
It'll probably happen again. Let's be
who are we
honest.
kidding?
Yep.
This is run like a brothel.
Speaking of brothels, shall we get stuck right in?
Yes.
Let's do paper, rock, scissors, hey?
Great segue.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck.
There it is.
Josh,
Lord Farrelton.
what is the news story that you will turn into a film right now?
The story I found, mate, is one that's been doing the rounds a little bit. It kind of went viral. You probably heard of it. The headline is, 30-year-old man refuses to move out of his parents' home. Parents take him to court.
What a piece of shit.
Did you see this, dude?
Yeah, it's great.
What a loser. And there was actually great footage of him in court
I saw.
defending himself. Here's the story.
Okay.
A married New York couple was forced to seek court action against their 30-year-old son over one of the most millennial decisions ever, refusing to move out of his parents' house. Christina and Mark Rotundo even went to the great lengths of writing their son, Michael, printed notices warning him to leave the property. However, Michael Rotundo ignored them all. The timeline is comical. Their problem is not. According to CNY Central, the couple first gave their son a notice on February 2nd, telling him that he had 14 days to vacate the property. On February 13th, a second note told Michael that he has been evicted and he had until March 15 to remove his belongings from the house. 5 days later, a third note offered Michael $1,100 so he can find a place to stay.
Wow.
And they gave him advice about selling some of his possessions to bring in some additional money and find employment. You imagine he'd have a bedroom cluttered full of...
Pewter wizards.
Oh, exactly. So many pewter wizards.
Holding quartz crystals.
Goblins everywhere. A fourth note on March 5th warned the son that his parents would take the appropriate actions to make sure he moved out by the approaching deadline, though they had seen no indication that he was indeed planning to move out. On March 30th, the fifth note detailed some solutions centred on Michael's car, which was parked at the residence. According to WGN-TV, the couple filed court documents after the notes failed to inspire action. He claimed that the 5 notices from his parents did not provide him with suitable amount of time to pack up his bags and move out, despite the fact that almost 2 months had escaped between the first and last notes. Anyway, that's the
setup. How are you going to Hollywood that, baby?
My title is Agent X and the Wang Defense.
Say that again. Agent
X
and the Wang Defense.
And the Wang Defense.
I'm going out on a limb here, but is there a penis-related defense?
No, there's no penises involved.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Hit me. Come on.
Okay, here we go. We see a rectangular black leather case bearing the royal seal placed carefully upon sandstone. The case is open to reveal the components of a sniper rifle. There's a quick, close-up montage of the weapon being assembled by skillful hands. Just like that. A man's face appears over the top of a sandstone parapet. These sky-blue eyes, framed by ragged facial scars, belong to Rupert St. George, the Queen's royal assassin, to be played by Anthony Hopkins.
Rupert!
He lifts the rifle into frame and rests it on his shoulder, looking down the telescopic sight. We see now in a wide shot that this man is perched on a turret high atop Windsor Castle. The royal wedding procession rolls towards the castle, passing the throngs of well-wishers, all unaware of the imminent violence.
Can I interject for a second?
Please.
Did you write this while watching the royal wedding?
Little bit. Through his telescopic sight, we see his intended target, Meghan Markle, the American princess-to-be. The assassin's finger takes rest on the trigger. Through the scope, the crosshairs line up on her forehead. Ooh. His breathing stops. Everything slows down. From seemingly out of nowhere comes a swinging steel-capped boot, making contact with Rupert's head and sending him tumbling backwards over the edge of the turret and plunging down 200 feet to his death. Hanging by one hand from a rope ladder, dangling from a black stealth chopper, is Agent X, the best damn deep cover operative the United States Secret Service, to be played by Eric Andre.
Yeah.
He flips the bird and snaps an airborne selfie and then climbs back into the helicopter. Dropping into his seat and lighting up a fat Cuban cigar, he chuckles, "Chalk one up for Uncle Sam." He slaps the pilot on her shoulder, laughing as the chopper zooms away into the sunset while church bells ring out below.
He just saved the royal wedding.
Indeed he did. It's dawn in suburban Syracuse, and a garbage truck rumbles its way down a quiet road, stopping at each house to collect the bins. In the sky overhead, the silent stealth chopper appears. Its side door slides open. We cut inside to the cabin where Agent X is finishing telling a story to the pilot. And that, my friend, is why you should never drink the bong water at the Playboy Mansion. The pilot, Alabama Kunk, played by Leslie Jones, bursts into laughter like she just heard the funniest joke of all time. "You killing me, X," she snorts. "Keep it stanky, Alabama." And with that, Agent X smiles, salutes, leans back, and tumbles out of the chopper, plummeting towards the earth. At the last second, he deploys his chute and glides into an overgrown backyard for a soft landing. Without breaking stride, he stuffs the parachute into his backpack and tosses a chunk of beef jerky to a chubby beagle before he can bark at the intruder. Agent X opens the grate leading to the basement and slips inside without a sound. The basement is a shambles. It's the cluttered bedroom of excruciatingly lazy man-child Michael Blumpkin. The walls are covered in aging posters of Pokemon, Chuck Norris, and The Big Bang Theory. From upstairs, we hear a door slam. "Michael!" Stomping footsteps can be heard coming down the stairs towards the room. Agent X unzips his black jumpsuit and pulls it off to reveal plaid pajama pants and a mustard-stained kitty cat t-shirt.
Oh my God, it's his cover!
He dives into bed and closes his eyes just as the bedroom door is flung open. It's his father, Tony, and he looks very angry. Tony is to be played by J.K. Simmons. You know J.K. from Whiplash?
Whiplash, yeah.
"Michael, you goddamn slug! You forgot to put the bins out again! You get the hell out of bed and do it immediately, mister!" Michael hauls himself out of bed with a theatrical anguish, schlubbing his way past his dad and out the door. He drags the bins to the curb about 30 seconds too late, just as the garbage truck is disappearing around the corner. The newspaper lying by the mailbox has the headline, "A Perfect Day," with a photo of newlyweds Harry and Meghan kissing. Walking back up towards the house, there's a note pinned to the front door. It's a final eviction notice from his parents. It's the fourth one he's received, and this one threatens legal action.
Ooh.
Smash cut to the tiny, filthy office of Jingwei Wang, a defence attorney in his 70s. It is clear from his shithole of an office that business is not what it used to be. Wang is to be played by Chow Yun-fat. Do you know who Chow Yun-fat is?
No.
Chow Yun-fat is the man, like he was the gangster in all of John Woo's original Hong Kong films.
Oh, okay.
Like The Killer, A Better Tomorrow.
Yep.
He's like legendary gangster
He's
dude.
legitimately old now.
He's in his 70s.
70s,
Yeah. A mobile phone starts ringing. Wang reaches into the plastic bucket of mobile phones on his desk. He searches for the ringing phone, tossing silent burner phones over his shoulder as he looks.
Burner phones?
Burner phones.
Okay.
You know what a burner phone is?
Yeah, he's got dodgy... okay.
He's got a bucket full of burners, mate.
Okay.
Finally, he finds the phone and answers. "Hello, this is the legal firm Wang. Who this?"
Oh, Josh.
That was not racist.
That was.
That's just the way he speaks. "My name is Blumpkin, and I need your help." The second half of the film is a tense courtroom drama as washed-up attorney Jingwei Wang defends Michael's right to stay in his parents' basement. The opposing lawyer, Ken Felchaw, to be played by Bruce Campbell, is a worthy opponent. Judge Flanagan, played by Sean Connery, presides over the case. He's a short-tempered Scottish magistrate with an immediate dislike for Blumpkin. It turns out that Wang is still a brilliant lawyer. Fast, funny and charismatic, he delivers persuasive arguments with a beautiful economy of language. It looks like Michael is going to win the case. It's the night before the closing arguments, and prosecuting attorney Felchaw uncovers the real truth about Michael while trawling through the dark web for weird porn. He learns that Michael is in fact the legendary Agent X, a mysterious deep-cover operative for the US Secret Service. A man forever shrouded in mystery, the Banksy of international diplomacy.
Yeah, wow.
The final scene of the movie is the dramatic closing arguments by Ken Felchaw. It's pure theatre. He's passionate, compelling, and at the perfect moment, he drops the bombshell that Michael Blumpkin is in fact the covert conspiracy killer codenamed Agent X. The courtroom is stunned to silence by this accusation. The cat is out of the bag. Jingwei Wang quietly picks up his briefcase. He opens the suitcase and reaches inside. He brings out 2 silenced pistols and tosses one to Agent X. Together, Wang and X execute every single person in the courtroom. Methodically, they take out the judge, the jury, the court reporter, sketch artist, the bailiff, and finally, prosecuting attorney Ken Felchaw.
Bloodbath.
When the shooting stops and the smoke clears, everyone except Wang and X are dead. They nod to one another. No survivors, no witnesses. Mission complete. Cut to black.
Perfect. That was great. I'm going to clap that one.
Cheers, mate.
That was great.
I don't know if it deserved a clap, but
Okay.
do appreciate it. Did you pick the moment
did.
where I ran out of ideas? I think I'm just going to have to kill everyone at this point.
I can tell because it sounds like my whole movie. When you switch off,
Right.
it sounds like my whole story.
Right. I didn't know how to finish it. I'm like, oh, fuck it, we'll just shoot everyone.
Yeah.
And that way we're out.
What do you got for us for a tag?
X is going to take out the trash.
I was
Yeah.
thought you were going to say X going to give it to you. I thought you do an exhibit thing, but
That's in the soundtrack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Awesome. You've done better.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to soundtrack
But
then.
your screenplay is flawless, so
I appreciate
carry
that.
on.
Shitty poster, but so the soundtrack. Let's talk about X by Salt and Pepper. X gonna give it to you. DMX.
Great.
X by Exhibit and X by Sisters of a Down. Just any songs with X.
X in it, yeah.
Pretty much. So cast wise, we've got Anthony Hopkins as Rupert St. George. Eric Andre is Agent X.
Yep.
Lisa Leslie is the chopper pilot. J.K. Simmons is Michael's dad.
Yep.
Chow Yun-fat as Wang. Bruce Campbell as Ken Felchaw and Sean Connery as Judge Flannery.
Because Sean is a prick
Sean is a prick.
in real life.
And I imagine it at whatever age he is now.
He's
I had
angry.
to look it up to make sure he's not dead. He is alive. He would be a cranky old bastard right now and a great judge.
Have we set the rule that we can't cast? Because I think we can cast dead people.
You've had holograms.
Yeah. So why not?
Well, he doesn't have. Well, he's
He's still alive. I'm saying, but we can cast dead people
as a hologram.
as anything.
What?
You can cast an actor who's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Cast them in a film. We can cast them.
It's going to be difficult.
Oh, it has to be someone alive. Is that the rule we have?
Unless you're using a hologram, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or CGI. We've done CGI
Well, it's
before.
been pure luck that I haven't done that.
Who did you see? You Paul Walker
Oh,
someone
Bill
into a
Paxton.
film. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, so I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budget-wise, I'm thinking about 80 million. So
Yep.
it's kind of like James Bond meets A Few Good Men with a dash of Freddy Got Fingered.
Great casting, Eric Andre.
Yeah, I think he'd be great. He's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting comedy-wise.
I love An Unlikely Hitman. We're talking about our love for Barry.
Barry.
On HBO.
How good is it? You finished it last night?
I did.
Oh, it's so good.
Really good.
I love the ending, hey?
Oh,
Starting now.
Ex gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. Ex gon' give it to you. He gon' give it to you. Ex gon' give it to you. Fuck with you to get it on your own. Ex gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real with the non-stop pop and stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart. I'll make a
Corey?
yes.
What is it that you found in the news this week?
Well, I've got a doozy.
Do you?
Yes.
Talk me through it.
The headline reads, troops who guard US nukes dropped acid, snorted coke and took ecstasy.
That's awesome.
A group of Air Force service members dropped acid, snorted coke and took ecstasy while stationed at a base where they were in charge of guarding weapons that can deliver nuclear catastrophe.
Wow.
Airmen at F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Wyoming,
Yes.
which houses a third of the US's 400 Minuteman III missiles.
What's a Minuteman III missile?
I'm guessing a mean piece of destructive shit.
Weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah. Distributed and used LSD as a part of a drug ring that formed on the base in 2015 and 2016.
They were dealing as well as using.
Yes.
That's ballsy.
Soldiers on the base, it says here, that's a dumb thing to say, but soldiers on the base are supposed to be alert at all times.
You'd think so. You got buttons that set off nukes. You should be pretty with it.
That's right. After one service member posted a Snapchat video of himself using drugs, genius,
Wow.
the Air Force conducted an investigation.
I wonder what filter he used. Do you reckon there's like the dog one with the tongue that lolls out when you open your mouth?
Lit! The Air Force conducted an investigation and cracked down on the drug ring in 2016. According to the report, 14 service members were disciplined and 6 were convicted of LSD distribution or use or both.
Wow.
One even fled to Mexico, though he later turned himself in.
They're doing acid around nukes.
I know.
That's...
It's up there with doing it around your mum.
I wouldn't trust myself doing acid around a hammer.
No.
Let alone a nuclear weapon.
Anything sharp.
Yeah.
The Air Force claims that the drugs were not used while service members were on duty. Bullshit. Here are some quotes from the servicemen about LSD that they delivered to a military judge under oath.
Awesome.
I absolutely just loved altering my mind. Minutes felt like hours. Colours seemed more vibrant and clear. In general, I felt more alive. I didn't know if I was going to die that night or not.
Nice.
Okay. Airman First Class Nicholas A. Harris was reportedly the leader of the drug ring. He testified that he got access to the drugs with ease from civilians off the base. He pleaded guilty to distributing LSD on the base and using a variety of other substances, including ecstasy and cocaine.
What would that have been like? A military base where everyone's tripping balls.
So you want to hear my film?
Not really.
Okay.
Go on.
I'll go.
No, go on.
Should I go?
No, do it.
See ya. Oh, sorry.
We're here now. You should do it.
Okay, the title of my film is High Treason. H-I-G-I.
Yeah, sure.
H-I-G-H.
How else would you spell it?
That's right. Oh, exactly.
There's only one spelling, mate.
Oh, I'm a smart guy.
It's good.
It's a typical Friday morning. We open on a normal-looking workplace break room. Seated around the table in their Air Force overalls is Airman Baker, played by Seth Rogan,
Nice.
Airwoman Indica, played by Anna Faris,
Very nice.
and Airman Calvin, played by Jason Mantzoukas.
It's a good lineup.
The difference is this is no ordinary workplace. This is the home of the 69th Hornet's Nest Squadron of the United States Air Force, tasked with not only guarding America's apocalyptic nuclear arsenal, but also launching those bad boys should the proverbial shit ever hitteth the fanneth.
Indeed. This shit is for reals.
Yeah. All right, you bunch of degenerates. What's this week's TGIF high haul? Calvin challenges his work buds. I don't know. Just an ounce of the dankest Cali Kush this side of Jamaica. Will that do? Baker answers sarcastically as he slaps a big old bag of weed on the break room table. Nice, the rest answer in approving excited chorus. How about you, Indica? Baker inquires. Well, I'm really sorry, guys, but I couldn't get anything this week, a sad Indica replies. The table deflates for a moment before, psych! I got caps for days, bitches! Indica proceeds to roll out a handful of Gurn-grade MDMA across the table like casino die. Fuck yeah, the gang sounds in joyous unison. Well, that just leaves you, Calvin. Indica suggestively shifts her attention across the table.
Ooh.
Did someone say they wanted to play a game of pool? Because I've got an 8-ball right here, motherfuckers, Calvin replies as he slams a glistening rock of disco-grade devil's dandruff down on the table. They all salute each other and dive into the party prescriptions. It's only breakfast.
Wow. These guys go hard.
We cut to the middle of the day. Captain Bravo Placenta, A career military man and Jobsworth is doing his daily rounds when he comes across the Hornet Squadron's barracks. What he sees looks like a Terry Gilliam film.
Oof.
Baker is naked except his military boots, dancing with a fire extinguisher. Indica is flicking the lights off and on to mimic a strobe light, while Calvin pops and locks robot moves. Everyone is gurning super hard. What is the meaning of this, air staff? Bravo screams. Our super high trio all freeze. Indica switches the lights off. Baker drops the fire extinguisher. Calvin goes to talk, but as he does, a booming warning sign bellows across the base.
Oh, no.
The room floods in flashing red lights.
Oh, no.
At first, they go back to dancing, thinking this is a new rave tune, until Captain Bravo snaps them out of it again. It's a nuke code! The president has initiated the fucking nuke code!
Oh, no.
Holy dickskin, the trio say in unison.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's the president in this?
Trump.
So we're talking about Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
That must happen every other day at this point, though.
Yeah.
It's like, ignore it. At this point. Just like, fuck, here we go again.
Running on adrenaline and 3 other types of Class A narcotics, our military slackers kick into gear. It's miraculous they can do anything at all, but they are doing surprisingly well. Pushing Captain Bravo aside, they all man their stations. Initiate big hands, Baker yells as he furiously batters away at the keyboard. Trump has renamed all warheads to cater to his ego.
That's good.
Request target, Indica fires down her radio, awaiting commands. The tension is palpable. They all wait and sweat out the response from the Chief of Defense. The order comes in, and it's not what they expected. It's Mexico City, Indica quivers.
No.
Calvin is up. It's his job to align the target and engage. The blood is pumping extra hard through Calvin, which is making the caps he triple dumped earlier kick in even harder.
Oh, God.
How can he kill so many innocent people? He loves everything right now, particularly his own chair, which he is now humping. Fire that fucking missile, Airman Calvin, Bravo screams. Calvin snaps out of it, swings around and mashes the keyboard, and the missile is launched.
Oh, no.
We hard cut to a satellite view camera angle looking over the Earth from almost space. We see the missile launch and hit its target.
Oh.
Hard cut to Mexicans celebrating along the border. What? Trump's wall is in ruins, rubble everywhere. Calvin diverted the missile to the border wall. The impact knocked it down like a domino. Billions of dollars worth of damage. It doesn't look good for our high heroes. Cut to a military court-martial. The gang sits down nervously in the courtroom, flanked by loved ones, sympathising celebrities and supporters. They are being represented by OJ's lawyer, Reverend Jesse Jackson. The country is divided, but a lot of people consider our day trippers the heroes, not villains. Mr. Jackson argues that you can't commit an act of high treason if you're in fact high at the time.
That's a great point.
Double jeopardy. Yeah. One cancels the other out. The judge, played by Judge Judith Shanlin,
Nice.
deliberates and agrees. Instead, they are sentenced to the much lesser charge of being high as fuck at the workplace and sentenced to 5 years jail.
5 years?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose they have big responsibilities.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
The film ends with the gang being led to a prison cell, much like the final episode of Seinfeld. I hear the heroin is pretty legit in prison, Calvin pipes up. Almost good enough to help you forget about the sodomy, Baker quips. You know what? I love you guys. We're going to be friends forever, Indica chimes in. They all crack a smile and try to high-five, but can't because they're all handcuffed. We freeze frame on that awkward image. A flash-forward credit scroll begins. The first reads, 10 minutes after being in prison, Baker was stabbed with a DIY shiv. He never walked again.
No.
The second super reads, Calvin was never sodomized. He did, however, sodomize many, many, many other inmates.
It's a lot of minis.
So many, he got the nickname Arse Rat. He is now happily married with 2 kids and sells pet insurance. And Super 3 reads, Indica wrote this film in her prison cell. It won an Oscar for the best screenplay.
That's great. That's very good.
Tagline?
Hit me. What do you got?
It's simple this week and I've only got one.
Sure.
Aim high.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Start high, aim high.
Aim high.
Works.
Cast is Airman Baker, Seth Rogan, Airwoman Indica, Anna Faris. Airman Calvin is Jason Mantzoukas. Captain Bravo Placenta is John C. McGinley, Perry from Scrubs. It's like a big budget indie stoner flick.
Yep.
I'm saying 50 million maybe.
50 mil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of effects and stuff.
No.
There's the end sequence.
That's
but,
right.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is just drug anthems. Born Slippy, Cause I Got High,
Yep.
Ebenezer Good,
Of course.
Purple Pills, D12.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. And also, our films were on a similar trajectory. We both had military themes.
We did.
Ending in courtrooms.
Yeah, wow.
Interesting.
We
that.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
And we didn't plan that at all.
That's great, mate. That was really funny.
Did you like
I
it?
did not see that ending coming. That was excellent. I love the postscripts. They were great. Many rapes. Arse rat.
Arse rat in prison, yeah.
Yeah, I like arse rat.
Notorious.
Notorious.
He became notorious in prison.
Notorious anal rapist.
For the sodomy.
The repeated sodomy.
On account of
Yeah, all
the many
all the
sodomy.
buttholes. I mean, there is one thing I feel that's kind of missing from the story.
I think I know what you might say here, but
yeah?
go on. Go on.
In the original news story,
Yes.
there was a whole lot of substance being taken, and one quite interesting that you didn't seem to include in your latest story was LSD. Why are they not on acid in the film?
Yeah, I did drop the ball on that. I basically started writing my story after not reading the article again.
Ah, okay.
And there was a big gap between both.
And that's why they call you the bear. Corey, bare minimum Farrell.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gleaned the headline. I'm across it.
I took those purple uppers, I downed them purple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills. I've been to Mushroom Mountain once or twice, but who's counting? But nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple.
That is just about all that we have time for on this week's
Just
edition
about,
of The
or-
Brown. Well, that is it.
That's okay.
This is the end.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap it up now. We're
right.
done. You've got 2 films to think about this week. You've got my film, Agent X and the Wang Defense, or you've got Corey's film,
High Treason.
spelt as you would imagine it spelt. So we're going to smash together a poll and pin that bitch to the top of the Facebook page. You vote for the one that you think is the least shithouse. At the end of the week, we'll pick a winner, and that winner will have a movie poster made for said film.
And that's right. Get involved, everybody.
Please do.
Just send us if you've got a weird news story you want us to movify, send it to thebrowncarpetpod@gmail.com, and we'll endeavour to do it.
Do get involved. We love hearing from you guys. Vote, send a weird comment, send a weird video.
Yep.
Send us a dick pic.
Yep.
Corey loves them.
Love them.
Absolutely loves them.
So until next week, don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted endless, like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Old Wishboner, a little bit fucking jealous that they didn't win. Jeez, they take it seriously.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Don't they?
They were cut up bad.
Oh, well.
Corey's racist musings.
Um,
Part 76. So we'll bang together a poll. We'll pin that. What was wrong with that? What was wrong with that? I was going fine.
Oh, the way you said it, so bang together.
You spat right on me.
Sorry.
It's disgusting.
Fuck. I can't read.
Yeah, I struggle too, man.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Do the whole thing again. Come on, should be on.
Oh, mate, we just need to do the second half and we're out of here.
Okay. My friend Macca sent me a photo of Mel Gibson in Garden Island today.
What's he up to?
Don't know. And like Mel Gibson just like
Looking around for Jews.
but like him. Yeah, and we jumping
We're
in.
just going to go in raw.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Raw dog it.
All right.
Episode 23, Jordan.
I'm Josh.
Just wanted to let everyone know that we are the 69th most popular penis podcast, penis-related topic podcast. If you search penis, we come up 69th.
Up from 73rd last week, so we're
We're
climbing.
moving.
Yep. Feeling
We're rising.
Rocketing up the charts.
Corey!
What's wrong, mate? You're not happy with that?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. So we're going to punch together a poll and pin that bitch to the top of the Facebook page. Fucking Corey, come on, man.
Punch, poll, bang. I love it. Oh, sorry.